We've all heard the old adage, beware of what you wish for. Well, it seems like a cautionary tale that could easily apply to global warming. Sure, a few extra degrees might sound nice in the winter, but a sudden spike in temperature can cause some pretty serious chain reactions. You've heard Billie Eilish's song about it, but what actually is the Devil's Triangle, and how does it relate to global warming? Well, it looks like that may be true for some cities as well. According to a recent report by the United Nations, nearly 500,000 people are at risk of being displaced by rising sea levels by 2050. And don't forget to subscribe, so you never miss another video. See you next time. And some cities may vanish from the face of the earth entirely. For example, the Maldives is a country located in the Indian Ocean that is made up of 26 beautiful islands. The Maldives are a popular tourist destination, but they're also extremely low-lying. The highest point in the country is only 2.4 meters above sea level. This means that even a small rise in sea levels could have devastating consequences for the Maldives. In fact, the country is already experiencing the effects of climate change. In 2007, the Maldives declared a climate emergency after a series of devastating floods. Since then, the government has taken measures to protect the country, such as building seawalls and planting mangroves. But there's only so much they can do. If global temperatures continue to rise, the Maldives as we know it will simply cease to exist. And unfortunately, the Maldives aren't alone. Coastal cities all over the world are at risk, from Miami to Mumbai to London. As sea levels rise, these cities will either be forced to relocate or disappear. And with millions of people at stake, this is one climate change consequence that we can't afford to ignore. Well, the area known as the Devil's Triangle is actually a region in the Western Pacific Ocean where a large number of ships and planes have mysteriously disappeared. Before you can even react, you're pulled under the water. And the next thing you know, you're gasping for air, desperately trying to keep your head above the surface. What just happened? Well, if this scenario seems like a plot from a disaster movie, don't worry, because it's actually a real phenomenon known as a freak wave or rogue wave. Freak waves are giant ocean waves that are much larger than the surrounding waves and can appear suddenly in even the calmest of seas. While most freak waves are relatively harmless, occasionally they can cause major damage to coastal areas. And according to some experts, the frequency and severity of freak waves are likely to increase as global warming continues to cause sea levels to rise. So how exactly do freak waves form? The truth is that scientists are still working to understand these mysterious waves, but they believe that a number of factors can contribute to their formation, including wind, tides, and even earthquakes. Whatever the cause, the results can be devastating. Freak waves have been known to sink ships and cause extensive damage to coastal infrastructure. And as sea levels rise, we can expect to see more and more of these destructive waves. So if you live near the coast, be sure to heed the warnings of experts and take steps to protect yourself and your property. After all, you never know when a freak wave might strike. Some believe that the triangle is cursed, while others attribute the high number of disappearances to natural causes such as storms and rogue waves. However, a new theory suggests that rising sea levels could be to blame. According to researchers from the National University of Singapore, rising sea levels caused by global warming could be causing the ocean floor to become unstable. This instability could then trigger landslides and other geological events that cause ships and planes to go down. In fact, the researchers believe that this phenomenon may be responsible for up to 80% of the disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle. Now, while this theory remains controversial, it's clear that rising sea levels are already causing problems around the world. As the planet continues to warm, we can expect to see more and more extreme weather events, which could make even the most experienced sailors and pilots vulnerable. And we're not talking about the butterfly effect or anything small scale. We're talking game over for the whole planet kind of reactions. So let us talk about 4 ways that a sudden rise in global temperature could spell doom for our species. No, for from ice to ick. It's no secret that the world is getting warmer. And as temperatures rise, glaciers and ice sheets are melting at an alarming rate. But what happens when all that frozen water thaws? Well, one possibility is that we'll be greeted by a literal blast from the past. That's because glaciers can preserve ancient bacteria in their icy depths. And when they melt, these microbes will be released into the environment where they could wreak havoc on delicate ecosystems. For example, a study published in 2016 found that melting glaciers in the Arctic Circle were releasing more than 30,000 viruses per liter of melted water. These viruses had been trapped in the ice for thousands of years, and their sudden emergence could have a major impact on the food chain. Some scientists believe that this could lead to the formation of giant underwater blooms of algae, which would deplete oxygen levels and starve the oceans of their much-needed sunlight. Others worry that these ancient viruses could infect humans and cause widespread disease. Of course, these are just a few of the potential consequences of melting glaciers. As the Arctic continues to warm, we may find that the true cost is far greater than we ever imagined. And speaking of things that are hard to imagine, no. 3. The Devil's Triangle. Number 2. City slickers. You've probably heard the saying, all good things come to an end. Number 1. Freak waves. Picture this. You're relaxing on the beach one day when suddenly a monstrous wave comes crashing toward you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other videos on climate change.